You want the short answer to the question, which one is better, startup visa or the provincial entrepreneur program? They both lead to the same result. Today, we're going to compare these two very popular programs. I mean, one is more popular than the other, and figure out why applicants would pick one over the other. And who am I? Well, I'm Reza from Ingwe, Canada, licensed immigration practitioner, and our office specializes in helping people and families and businesses move across borders. Is this what I do for a living? Of course not. I'm not an actual full-time YouTuber, but you may think so, but I'm not. I work hands-on with our license team, working on actual applications and communicating with immigration departments, representing our clients on a daily basis, both from inland and outside of Canada. Why are we posting this video? These are made for the purpose of sharing our hands-on immigration knowledge with our worldwide audience. And if you're thinking about immigrating, we're here to help. Get a free email assessment for eligible applicants by filling out the form down below in the description of this video, or reach out to us if you're an immigration practitioner looking to learn or collaborate. The first question, how much is required to be invested under these programs? Well, under the Provincial Entrepreneurial Program, the minimum requirements are in black and white, clearly stated in their guides and website. The bare minimum for rural programs starts at $100,000 to $150,000 for some provinces. And for major metropolitan cities, it will range from $200,000 to $600,000. But on average, the minimum for the major cities starts at $250,000. Keep in mind that investing the bare minimum in the Provincial Entrepreneurial Program may not provide you enough of a profile to be invited by the province. Now let's look at Startup Visa. You're going to be like, Reza, Startup Visa has no minimum investment requirements except the minimum IRCC settlement funds. However, newsflash, folks, if somebody applies under the program and does not have either of the following two: A, decent revenue from the startup business to support themselves and the business, or B, investment funds to scale the business and create revenues, then if you don't have those two, then it could be an outright refusal. Not because you don't have the money, but the simple fact is that the IRCC officer or Canadian Immigration Department officer will not be convinced that you're genuinely looking to operate this business when arriving to Canada on your PR, because you have no chance of making this business run without either A, revenues, or an actual investment to get revenues. Which one would you prefer? Investing $100,000 maybe in a startup, which will most likely not give you any return on the investment, unless you've got a startup that's really good. Or spend $200,000 or more, buy an existing business as part of your business plan in Canada that already has revenue, and get a return on investment and maybe even make money. Whoa! Did you just say that, Reza? Make money? Yeah, I did. Hint, this question was rhetorical. Let's move on to the next question. At which point in these programs should you be invested? Here's a big difference between the two programs. With Startup Visa program, you start investing in your business as soon as you have the letter of support. And a year to 2 years later, you will receive a decision on your PR. In the Provincial Entrepreneur Program, you don't invest a dime until the province interviews you, approves you, issues you a work support letter for work permit, and you receive your work permit and arrive. So until the day you arrive here with a work permit approved and supported by the Provincial Entrepreneur Program, you don't invest a dime. Question number 3, timeline and steps and costs before you can apply for a work permit. In the Startup Visa program, you get admitted to a designated organization. Hopefully you get your letter of support. And then you have to meet the eligibility criteria for the PR and work permit, and you can apply. It's pretty fast. In the Provincial Entrepreneur Program, there's a lot of time you have to spend to get to the work permit. You have to put an expression of interest with your business plan, concept, data, and your profile that I'm going to invest this much, all that, The second point is you have to wait and make sure you have enough points, or maybe your profile is the right profile for the province to invite you for an interview. When they invite you for an interview, you do a net worth audit, and you have to submit all your supporting documents regarding the profile you submitted, plus a net worth audit of your personal assets overseas through a third-party designated CPA or CA firm. And then you do the interview. And after the interview, if they like you and you think it's genuine and you're good, they issue you a letter of support for a work permit. So you're a provincial nominee candidate. Then you apply for your work permit and get it. Here's the fourth question. Is there a net worth audit? Yes, of course, as we covered. Startup visa has no net worth audit, but provincial entrepreneur program has a net worth audit for every single province. No exceptions. So if you have to declare your assets to meet the eligibility criteria, you also need to have a third-party CA or CPA from overseas designated by the provincial nominee office to verify and validate your net worth. Which of these programs is faster to obtain your PR? Startup visa or provincial entrepreneur program? Roughly the same. So if you're looking at startup visa, about a year and a half to 2, and if you're looking at provincial entrepreneur program, the longest it could take in the provincial entrepreneur program is 4 years for certain provinces, but in some provinces it'll actually take you a year and a half to 2. The ones that have 6 months, like Manitoba, you could get it in a year and a half. Actual PR card, folks. And in the 12-month processing for some provinces, which require you to run your business for 12 months, you could get in a year and around 2 years. In some provinces, it could take longer. So it really depends on the province, but they're roughly around the same range. Which programs have the most difficult eligibility criteria? Between these two, the eligibility of the provincial entrepreneur is significantly more. They want education, they want points, they want minimum investment, they want net worth, they want a million things. Definitely doable, but definitely more than the startup visa. Startup visa, what do you need? You need an innovative idea, scalable, has economic benefit, language ability, CLB5, minimum settlement funds, and a letter of support. Voila, you're eligible. There's no education requirements for startup visa. So if you haven't even gone to high school, you could be eligible to apply. But the beauty with the provincial entrepreneur programs is some of them, education is not mandatory. It's mainly business ownership experience or management experience that provincial entrepreneur programs are looking for. And third, you don't need, for some provinces, like Ontario, for example, you do not need the language exam at the time of application. You need it later on, maybe 18 months down the line when you're running your business before the final nomination for your PR. So that's a huge advantage. If you don't have the language ability, well, there you go. You could start with a provincial entrepreneur. Here's the other point. Do both programs require a business plan? Yes. The business plan for the entrepreneur program is very important and very detailed, and they give you specifics. They almost give you a blueprint of what they want. And some of the provinces like Ontario and BC actually give you a score on your business plan. So if it sucks, you get a bad score. Startup visa, yes, business plans are required. Obviously, the designated organization wants to see what the startup, where it's going to take, and IRCC requires it as well. But it's not as, let's say, specific as the provincial entrepreneur. And in the provincial entrepreneur program, they hold you to it. So if you put a business plan, I'm going to invest 150,000 or 250,000, I'm going to hire 3 people, blah, 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 and do all this, they will sign a business performance agreement based on your business plan. As long as you can get 80-90% of it done, or you put the effort to get 100% done, but maybe you get 80% of it done, then you would be nominated for PR. With the startup visa, this business plan is so-so. It could be good, it could work against you. Maybe the officer doesn't even read it. Most of them don't. Number 8, which of these business investment immigration programs is more secure to obtain your Canadian Permanent Residency? Okay, good question. Startup visa or provincial entrepreneur program? If you have a genuine startup, you've got revenues, you got traction, you're investing, startup visa is a good solution. If you don't have that, the provincial entrepreneur program, and you have all the eligibility of the provincial entrepreneur program, that is a more secure way. With the startup visa, it really depends on the officer you get. Depends on the quality of your startup. It depends on a lot of things which are not written or documented anywhere, maybe except in our videos. Here's the other question. Which one of these programs has more risk to apply for your Canadian business immigration. Remember, the more risk, again, depends on your startup and your business. The more risk is definitely startup visa. If you meet the eligibility criteria of the Provincial Entrepreneur Program, the risk is limited unless for some reason halfway through you can't run the business. You have less clarity from them of what they expect, but they expect it of you anyways. And when they want to make a decision on your PR, that's crunch time. So that's where the risk comes in. With the provincial entrepreneur, all the risk is at the front. So you know you're not spending a dime till you go through all the process, you're approved, you get the work permit. Then all you need to do is run the business according to that blueprint called your business plan. Startup visa is great, but there's more risk because you don't know. It's like rolling the dice. Remember, folks, we're always posting about our provincial and federal immigration programs like Startup Visa, Provincial Entrepreneur, Intercompany Transfer, and the Fast Track Executive PR program. And if that's what you're interested in, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more deep dive videos. If you're thinking about immigrating, whether permanently or temporarily, you are at the right place, folks. I can guarantee you only one point. You'll know what to expect, of course. The entire process clearly laid out for you, like a nice pizza dough, and all the risks identified, including costs. Our legal agreements are based on payment milestones, which are linked directly to your immigration application progression. We don't take 100% advance payment for business and investment immigration applications. We have a $1 million liability insurance, which protects you and us from fraud or mistakes, as well as a dedicated client trust account with our Canadian banking institutions. Our team speaks over 9 languages, and we help applicants from over 49 different countries, which is growing every day. Click the link below this video and get a free email assessment for eligible applicants. And if you're ready to apply, you want a one-on-one session with me or any of my licensed immigration team members at Ingwe, you can book a session directly using the consultation link in the description of this video.